Welcome back to Elevation Perspective. My name is Mark. Today we are listing our MLB Power Rankings heading into June. At number 10 with a record of 32 and 26 overall, the San Diego Padres. 13 and 15 the month of May kind of brought the Padres back to reality after a tremendous April. I'm not really sure how the Padres are kind of staying afloat right now. The only real thing I can find here is they have an elite bullpen. The stars of this Padres lineup are still really struggling. Fernando Tatis Jr. did hit his first run of the season finally over the weekend, but with that home run, the OPS now sits at 658. And the other stars here, Manny Machado is batting 174 and Jackson Merrill is batting 209. Merrill does not have the same kind of track record that Machado and Tatis do, but it has to start raising some questions with his coaching staff, at least with the hitting coach, that two bona fide superstars are struggling to this degree entering June. Then the rotation right now is King, Canning, Vasquez, Buehler, and Giolito. I just think the Padres are kind of hanging on by a thread here with just that elite bullpen, like I said previously. If the big hitters don't wake up soon, they're going to fall off this list very shortly. At number 9, with a record of 32 and 28 overall, the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates had a very strong showing in May, going 16 and 12. This is a team carried on their starting pitching. We all know about Paul Skeens, but I want to shout out Braxton Ashcraft. He's a 2.77 ERA, a 1.03 whip, and 81 strikeouts in 74 innings. Ashcraft looks like he has emerged as a true young ace in the game. There was a little bit of drama in Pirates camp this last week with Carbon Mojinski getting kind of bumped out of the rotation for Jared Jones. He had some kind of comments, got put on the restricted list, so some weird things going on there, but Jared Jones, another exciting young arm back in this rotation. The lineup has been pretty solid overall. Brandon Lowe up to 14 home runs. O'Neal Cruz has 13 home runs and 19 stolen bases. They're getting Ryan O'Hearn back from injury, but they're losing Connor Griffin as a corresponding move, so kind of a wash there in a sense. The bullpen has been rough for this team, but that's the easiest part of a team to upgrade come trade deadline season. I like this Pirates team. I think they're a playoff team, and I feel like with this starting rotation, they can make a deep run in October. Number 8, with a record of 32 and 28 overall, the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs fell down this list quite a bit after the 13 and 16 month of May that included a 10-game losing streak. Their starting rotation is kind of in shambles right now. Injuries to Matthew Boyd, Edward Cabrera, and Cade Horton. And also, they saw a big regression month from Shoto Imanaga, who allowed 20 earned runs in his last 3 starts. For the offense, pretty much every bat in this Cubs lineup has been bad or underwhelming. Nico Horner back down to earth after the really hot start. PCA batting just 230. Bregman has an OPS slightly north of 700 at 705. Ian Happ is probably the only real bright spot here with 13 home runs and an 818 OPS. I'm really not sure how to feel about this team right now. Good teams have bad months, but they usually don't lose 10 games in a row. Just looking at this group, I still think they could win the Central, and I also think there's a chance they can miss the playoffs. Number 7, with an overall record of 31 and 29, the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners had a very nice bounce-back month of May, going 15 and 13, and currently sporting an active 6-game win streak. Julio Rodriguez got red hot with the weather getting warmer as he usually does, hitting 10 home runs in May. Arozarena is batting 290. Luke Raley is having an outstanding season, only playing versus right-handed pitching, but hitting 280 with 13 home runs and a 932 OPS. MVP runner-up Cal Raleigh is still on the injured list, but the team is playing pretty well without him for the time being. The Mariners have great pitching both in their rotation and in the bullpen. There's been some drama this last week with Bryce Miller and Luis Castillo both currently unhappy with their piggyback bullpen role. But with the way Gilbert, Kirby, Wu, and Hancock are throwing, I can't really see that being resolved anytime soon without a trade or an injury. The Mariners are a really well-built team in my opinion. I think they're just really solid top to bottom and should win the American League West. Number 6, with a record of 34 and 27 overall, the Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians had a great month of May, going 18 and 11, pulling themselves into first place in the American League Central, and I don't really see them giving up that first place position. The Tigers and Royals are absolutely buried already. The White Sox have been a fun surprise, currently 32 and 27 right behind the Guardians, but I'm not sure they can sustain that level of play. Even more impressive for Cleveland right now is Jose Ramirez has been pretty bad, currently batting 228 with a 738 OPS. He is a future Hall of Famer, so I'm not super worried about him at this point, but really impressive on Cleveland to have the record they do with his performance. Rookies Chase DeLauder and Travis Bazzana have been huge for this Guardians lineup, as well as Brian Rocchio having a breakout year with the stick, batting 293. The Guardians always pitch really well. Gavin Williams and Parker Messick have been really solid at the top of this rotation. Cade Smith in the back end of the bullpen is one of the best closers in baseball. He might only be behind Mason Miller. I don't think the Guardians are incredible, but they are a good team, and I don't think any of the other 4 teams in the Central are better. Number 5 with a record of 35-21 overall, the Milwaukee Brewers. After a dominant 19-7 month of May, the Brewers are right back at the top of the National League Central with a 4.5 game lead. I'm truly not sure if Mizorowski's getting enough attention right now. He has a 1.65 ERA with 108 strikeouts and 71 innings. He's gotten so much better in such a short amount of time from last year, and he is right in the thick of this very competitive National League Cy Young race. Mizorowski is also stealing away some of the attention from Kyle Harrison, who's been ridiculous in his own right. Harrison has a 1.57 ERA in 51 innings of work. Then on the offensive side of things, Jake Bauers has kind of been the out-of-nowhere breakout Brewer this season, batting .280 with 9 home runs. Turang is a star, and the rest of the crew are just really solid. In the bullpen, Trevor McGill recently retook over the closer duties from Abner Uribe after his Degeneration X tribute, but both relievers are really good. The Brewers have a formula and it works year in and year out. At number 4, with a record of 36-20 overall, the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays went 18-8 in May, just playing great team baseball. Cabanero, Aranda, and Yandy carried the offense. For the pitching, you gotta shout out Nick Martinez. No idea how he's doing it, but he has a 1.62 ERA. McClanahan and Rasmussen have been very solid. It's been pretty interesting. They are currently experimenting with stretching out Griffin Jax into a starter. They have that luxury because they have a really good bullpen led by Brian Baker. The Rays are a good defensive team, and they're very well managed. I don't think the Rays are world beaters by any means, but in a very weak American League, the Rays look like a very clear playoff team to me. Number 3, with a record of 36-23 overall, the New York Yankees. The Yankees were solid in May, going 16-12. They still look like the best team in the American League by a pretty clear margin to me. Right now, the Rays are ahead, but I don't really see that happening throughout the whole season. Ben Rice currently leads this team in most offensive categories. Aaron Judge's batting average is quietly .248 for the season, but he still has 17 home runs and a .908 OPS, so it doesn't really matter. The lineup does feel pretty top-heavy, with most of the production coming from Rice, Judge, and Bellinger. But with Stanton out and Jazz still not really getting going yet, it's probably not a long-term concern. On the pitching side of things, with both Garrett Crochet and Terry Skubal hurt, Cam Schlittler looks like the clear American League Cy Young favorite right now, and Garrett Cole has looked really good in 2 starts back from the injured list. The Yankees will upgrade their messy bullpen at the trade deadline, and they will be the team to beat in the American League. Number 2, with an overall record of 40-20, the Atlanta Braves. The Braves backed up their awesome April with an 18-10 month of May. The starting pitching for this Braves team, with the exception of Chris Sale, still baffles me. Bryce Elder having a 2.50 ERA just does not compute with my brain. A 2.79 ERA from journeyman Martin Perez at 51 innings of work feels crazy. But they're doing it again here through 2 months of this season, getting very strong pitching from kind of unlikely people. Now, what I don't believe is a fluke here is this Braves bullpen. This feels like an elite group to me, one of the best in all of baseball, with Raisel Iglesias, Robert Suarez, and Dylan Lee. And over to the offense, the lineup is just ridiculous. Matt Olson and Michael Harris are having awesome years. Ozzie Albies is having a nice bounce-back season as well. And the really scary part right now is, it looks like after the slow start from Ronald Acuna Jr., he's finally starting to get going here with 5 home runs in his last 7 games. I remain incredibly skeptical of all the starting pitching on this team not named Chris Sale, but with their elite lineup and great bullpen, the Braves are clearly one of the best teams in Major League Baseball. And at number 1 with a record of 38-21 overall, once again reigning and defending Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers went 18-10 in May. They are still the clear number 1 team for me, and it's going to take something pretty substantial to happen for me to consider moving them down. The fact that this team is still as dominant as they are while getting absolutely nothing from Kyle Tucker, Edwin Diaz, and Blake Snell, with Tyler Glasnow missing most of the month of May and Mookie Betts batting below 200, it's just absurd they overcome all of this, and whoever the next man up is, they put on that Dodgers uniform and they don't skip a beat. Andy Pages is in the MVP conversation this season, batting .294 with 13 home runs and 50 runs batted in. Max Muncy, now 35 years old, is still great, 14 home runs with an .887 OPS. And Ohtani, in a seemingly down year, has a .900 OPS. On the pitching side of things, we know Yamamoto and Ohtani are elite, but you gotta shout out Justin Robleski as well. He has a 2.87 ERA in 62 innings of work this season. The Dodgers don't take the regular season seriously. They hold guys back and make every decision with October in mind. But just the fact they are 38-21 with all the problems I previously stated, I have no choice but to put the Dodgers once again in this number 1 position. And those are our power rankings heading into the month of June. If you like this video, please hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.